What's going on, people? All right, I got a whole mess of videos that we're going to react to. But I'm going to wait for everyone to come on in. Wait for everyone to stumble in the chat here. I know I should have, oh well, whatever. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit more of Xi Jinping's Governance of China. This is carrying on the spirit of Mao Zedong thought. December 26th, 2013. The enduring spirit of Mao Zedong thought refers to the stand, viewpoint, and method crystallized in the thought, which features three basic tenets: seeking truth from facts, the mass line, and independence. In the new conditions, we should uphold and apply the enduring spirit of Mao Zedong thought in our party and advancing the great cause of socialism with Chinese characteristics. As a fundamental tenet of Marxism, seeking truth from facts is a basic requirement for the Chinese communists. To understand and transform the world, it is also our party's basic thinking, working, and leading approach. We have upheld and should continue to uphold. What's going on, Mongoose Man? Green Book? Green Book is going to come afterwards, but I saw some very cringe videos that we're going to do, so I will be reading that afterwards. I'm sorry, I started reading this. Let's go ahead and finish this right up, though. This is carrying on the enduring spirit of Mao Zedong thought, a speech given by Xi Jinping back on December 26, 2013. Okay. Mao Zedong once said, "Facts are all the things that exist objectively. Truth means their internal relations, that is, laws governing them, and to seek means to study." He also used the metaphor of shooting the arrow at the target. That is, we should shoot the arrow of Marxism at the target of China's revolution, modernization, drive, and reform. To seek truth from facts, we must acquire a deep understanding of a matter as it is, see through the surface into the heart of the matter, and discover the intricate link between matters amidst fragmented phenomena. We should follow objective laws on the basis that we recognize the existence of a matter and its development laws. Okay, this is longer than I thought this was. Okay. Holy moly. Holy moly. Okay. You know what? Let's just cut into it, shall we? Should we just cut into it? Let's just go ahead and cut into it. And I know y'all are just going to watch later. It's all right. But don't worry, APR. I will be reading the Green Book a little bit later. And I did promise that. So just give me a little bit of time. Okay. Just got done walking home from school. Daggum. Okay. We've got our friend Justin King, Beau the Fifth Column. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna talk about the other one. So we're gonna go ahead and X that one. We're not even gonna worry about that right now. Okay, let's talk about escaping North Korea. This is just something I saw, and I was like, why don't I put this in? Why not? Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name is Evelyn, and this is my escape story from North Korea.
Never trust expats. I just want to say that. Never trust these expats. You know what? Go ahead.
What they doing for? I went to South Korea, Incheon Airport first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I switched the airplane to Los Angeles, then Chicago, and Denver, Colorado.
Oh, you lived in Denver?
Yeah, I lived in Denver, Colorado.
For how long?
For 3 years with my foster family.
Oh, jeez.
There, she attended high school, learned English, and became accustomed to American culture.
Oh, Lord.
But as you might imagine, it was very hard for Evelyn to fit in. Her past.
How long before she shaves her head and says, white supremacy is awful, ree? Exactly. North Korean expats are no different than to Cuban expats. Exactly. Exactamundo. Okay.
Was always
This is
on her
cringe.
mind. Did you know why you were escaping?
Yes, it was winter time. The blood was steamy, like American citizenship interview, but it canceled that because of the COVID-19.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? We're gonna X out that. That's just too much cringe. I just wanted to show y'all that, come on, man. Come on, man. We don't need any of that feihua. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to Justin King, aka Bowl the Fifth Column. I don't think APR doesn't know about Bowl the Fifth Column. Yeah. That Korean woman would probably be in a Probably would, yeah. Probably be in a WMAF couple. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this, man. So we got good old Bowl the Fifth Column. He's gonna talk some shiznit. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about a misconception and a fiction.
Yeah.
We're going to do this because President Donald J. Trump said something, made a comment. Half the country was like, yes, he's going to do something about this long-standing issue, an issue that has existed since Eisenhower. And the other half of the country was not thrilled about the comment.
The military-industrial complex.
So we're going to clear up the misconception because there's a misunderstanding of the term that's getting thrown around. But first, we're going to go through what Trump said. And he said, I'm not saying the military's in love with me. The soldiers are. The top people in the Pentagon probably aren't because they want to do nothing but fight wars.
Yep.
So that all of those wonderful companies that make the bombs and make the planes and make everything else stay happy.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Sure, that kind of makes sense, I guess, in some...
What? Once again, what sort of an anarchist are you? This guy claims to be an anarchist. And he's just so annoyed by that. You could tell that he's annoyed because he's just like, oh, okay, that doesn't really make sense, but, that kind of makes sense. Actually, it makes sense to me. I mean, that the fact is that, yeah, the military industrial complex does exist. Joe Biden ain't going to fight it. But yeah, go ahead.
Weird fashion. When he said this, people started throwing out the term military industrial complex and referencing Eisenhower. That's cool. That's I like that because the military industrial complex is a problem. However, that complex is not defense contractors, these companies, these wonderful companies making deals with generals and generals trying to keep them happy. That's not what it is.
What? Hold on. Give me a minute. So you're saying that doesn't happen? Are you leading us down the wrong road, sir, by saying some feihua like, oh, well, that's not how it works. Oh, please explain to me how this works. Please explain to me how it works. Oh, Lord have mercy. Go ahead.
Because generals don't have any money. The military-industrial complex starts with the defense contractors. Those wonderful companies starts with them. They have some profits from previous...
Generals don't have money? The hell you talking about generals don't have money? How the hell would someone like General Wesley Clark run for office, as BS as that was and as the stupid as an idea as that was, if he didn't have any money? The hell you talking about? Generals don't have money. Are you talking about relative? I think that's what he's saying, is that they don't have any money, relatively speaking, to buy weapons. I don't really get that, but okay.
Sales. They use those profits to influence policy. Generals don't make policy. Congress and the executive do.
Generals make policy for the military, dipshit. That's usually how that works. the United States, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, or, Commandant of the Marine Corps, or Sergeant Majors of the Army, you bet your ass they have policy for their own groups, for their own forces, and say, okay, folks, okay, privates, today you're going to use a new, you're going to use this new laser blaster here as ordered by, the Sergeant Major of the Army. You're going to be going out there and doing that. So what the hell are you talking about when you say generals don't make policy? They make policy for the military, you dipshit. Golly. Oh, I can't tell if he's doing this on purpose or if he's just trying to lead people down the wrong road. But I'm sorry, the paranoia is just at 1,000. Go ahead.
So they lobby.
I knew this was going to make me angry. That's good. I need me a little bit of blood boiling to, go ahead.
Congress. They lobby the executive. They give them money, campaign contributions to get stuff through appropriations, to get it through Congress, to get it signed, to get that product, whatever it is they're pushing, to get it approved so they can make more money, which will then again be used to influence policy. This goes long enough, and the policy is, well, we got to use some of this stuff so we can sell you more. So then the policy is, well, we need to start a war.
This is okay. This is the same guy. This is a very ignorant ass view where he's like, oh, these military contractors, this and that. Okay. But he says if there's a civil war that broke out in the United States, or a revolution, if a guns out revolution came out, that America will be flooded with enemy weapons. And it's like, that's partly true, but I think also there are enough weapons in the United States where there we go. I knew it was coming. But it's like, bruh, what in the hell are you talking about? Are you serious? Okay, go ahead.
And the generals get handed a directive.
Sorry.
The generals are a tool of policy. They don't make it. The president does. Congress does. Not the generals.
What? Is this, once again, the bootlicking of the military is amazing. This is absolute bootlicking for the military. This is absolutely bootlicking for generals and everything else. Are you serious? Are you serious, my dude? Yeah, fifth column is repeating soaked in points. Yeah, times. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he really is repeating soaked in points because, yeah, he's just this guy's supposed to be an anarchist, and he just constantly, has military cock in his mouth. It's hard to, you can't tell what he's saying half the, go ahead. Golly, idiot. Or just shill. Just shill. I'm just going to say shill. Go ahead.
Yeah, you do have some generals, some military officers who take civilian positions afterward.
What? Yeah, some I love that he has to admit, well, yeah, so some generals do get, a bit of, they get jobs afterwards in those businesses. But don't look behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain. It's the military. I mean, it's the president and Congress. They're the people that make the difference. It's the president and Congress. Nobody else does, The generals don't have money. The idiocy is astounding. Go ahead.
That's a fact. And that's probably not always great. Sometimes
it's probably not always great. No, it's probably never great. It's great for them, obviously, because, hey, once they get out, they have a set job where it's like they pretty much do the same thing when they were a fucking general. Except now, they don't have any regulations to uphold. They don't have to follow any rules. They can just try to, sell to their friends that are still in the military. So, or their colleagues. It's absolute. Go ahead. I'm about to lose it. Go ahead.
Good. Sometimes it's just to get advice on
what's going on, Cornholio fan.
The average soldier needs. And that's
see you later. I'll talk.
However, sometimes it's to kind of grease the wheels within the Pentagon. That's bad. But they're not taking cash. These generals, they're not taking cash while they're active duty.
Why the hell does that make a difference for? What is that? Okay, well, they don't take cash. Well, I'm sorry, we we don't all live by the "in God we trust, all others pay cash" type thing. I mean, bruh, what the heck are you even talking about? What are you talking about? I don't get it. It's like, wow, they don't pay them in cash. Yeah, they probably just give them stock in their company, or they give them a promise that, hey, I'll give you a job after you get out of the military. Are you saying that's a good thing? Or what, nigga, what the fuck you saying? I'm sorry to say the N-word, but it's like, bruh, what are you even saying? Oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah, all right.
That is Congress. That is the president. That's who makes policy, not the generals. This wasn't an attack on the military-industrial complex. It was a defense of it because it was deflecting from the real problem. Because Americans are more than happy to buy this fiction. They want to believe that it's the generals who do this, the generals and the contractors who do this, because then they don't have to accept any responsibility.
What?
The average voter, well, they have no control over the generals. But
oh boy. So I mean, once again, Bo the fifth column. This guy claims to be an anarchist, and yet every time he talks about the military, he gets so defensive of this because he has done work for the military. He has never been in the military himself. I mean, no, it always makes me laugh when I hear this fool and the amount of bootlicking he does. You know, I don't get it, to be honest with you. I really don't get it when this fool comes out and just is so defensive of the military. It's like, bruh, you're supposed to be an anarchist, right? You know, you think that the military, once again, even people like Lenin said, you know, we must smash the military and police into atoms, you know? And yet, this nigga's talking about, oh, well, it's not the generals, it's the president and Congress. You're just shifting the fucking blame. And it's like, talk about smokescreen, or talking about being gaslit. You're gaslighting people right now. Go ahead.
they do have control over Congress and the executive, right?
What?
So the military-industrial complex, it perpetuates itself because the voters, those people cheering right now, don't actually care enough to vote these people out when they do it. Now, to be
so they're retarded. I mean, you're just saying fuck the voters. I mean, if you want to say that, yeah, this is a good policy, yeah. And I'm not going to deny that there is truth to that, but okay, go ahead. I mean, I don't know what else to say with that, but yeah.
super clear on this, nobody who appoints a Secretary of Defense who was a Raytheon lobbyist is against the military-industrial complex.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to tell me about how Biden isn't? Are you going to tell me how Biden is going to destroy the military-industrial complex? Probably not, but yeah, go ahead. Great face, by the way. That's a great face. Okay. Yeah. When will Texas become Nosbo? It will come. It will come one day. We will put it into reality. Nosbo will, Texas Nosbo will be glorious. Spanglish all around for everybody. It's gonna be, it's gonna be one struggle of, crackers and, indigenous Mexicans. It's gonna be glorious. It will be. One struggle, definitely one struggle. Oh, go ahead, Bo. Justin.
Nobody who brags about how much money they spend for the military is against the military-industrial complex.
Who is against it then? Who is realistically in a position to do anything about the military-industrial complex? Who is in a position to take care of anything? As I know it's not you. Who? Go ahead.
Trump is the ultimate tool of the military-industrial complex because he convinces everybody.
I mean, half this fool's videos that come out has Trump in the title. because he wants to get the hashtag resistance, the wine aunt mom demographic to watch his videos. He talk about looking for a target market. He knows it. He knows what the target market is. And this fool just, honestly, it's like, I don't care about Trump. I know that, people may think that I'm some MAGA. The reality is that I don't really care either way. Ultimately, accelerationism is going to happen one way or another, and it's, it would be preferable with Trump because guess what? He wants to dismantle more stuff quicker than Biden. But you never know. Biden could just go out and do the same type of things as Trump. So who knows? Who knows? Everyone's just hoping, that's all we can do. But of course, Americans, once again, we are retarded and we think, oh, he said that he's going to give us free college. Biden said he's going to make it so we have more electric cars. So he's going to give us electric cars. We're just every 4 years and then every 2 years, we continue to be retarded. And I do mean that. Mentally retarded. And decide, oh, well, that guy's going to do what we want. He's going to do it. He's not going to sell us out like that other guy. Fucking retards. Is he Texan? No, he is not. I think he's originally from Alabama, I want to say, but he lives in Florida. So yeah, he's a Florida boy. He has nothing to do with Texas. Go ahead.
That we have to spend tons of money for defense. It's like one of his main things. It's not the generals out there doing that. It's Trump.
What is this? What is this? Once again, it's, oh, the generals aren't doing. Talk about a sheepdog. Oh, the generals aren't doing anything. They're not getting it. You just admitted that they get jobs after they leave the military. Oh, some go into the military. You notice how he just kind of jumped right over that little hill there, like he's Mario, do. Well, then the military, sometimes the officers do get jobs in the defense country. Well, right over that point, we're just going to continue on dabbing on Trump. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dab on Trump a bit more. I mean, it gets boring dabbing on Trump. It does. It gets boring as fuck. This is why I'm just so, honestly, I mean, I know this is childish. I do realize it, but it's like, that's why I secretly just, I am torn. I am secretly torn between voting for Trump just to let everything get worse or voting for Biden just so, I'm just going to say it, bitch ass niggas like you, Justin King, will shut the fuck up about Trump. Shut up. I'm just so tired of it. Why don't you talk about something realistic? And I know he does, but it's like, I'm so tired of every other video. Oh, I remember he said way back when, the orange Mussolini. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. Golly, I'm so sick of people being so mad at Trump. It's like, you're not going to do anything to him. The Democrats are not going to do anything to him. He's not going to be some dictator. And mark my words, go ahead and take that down. I know someone's going to find this video and they're going to clip that out. And then, we're going to see Trump become a dictator or something. I guarantee. But it's like, oh my goodness. Why? Why are motherfuckers that stupid to believe that Trump is going to try to make himself a dictator? Why? It's just, Americans are retards. Good thing I'm only half retard. That works. That works. Get wrecked. Yeah. What's going on, Union Army Ball? I know I started this a little bit early, but oh well. I just wanted to get it knocked out. I got some other stuff to do. More stories. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll watch that on my own. Don't worry. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue on here. We also have a video from Bronx Blogger. For those, you know what? I'll explain Bronx Blogger when we come to that video. We're almost there.
Trump did not attack this form of corruption.
Who did?
He helped to conceal it. He helped to bury it in this fiction that the American people have.
I love this defense of generals. I love this. I mean, it's not the general's fault, even though some do get the job. I know I went on a big long rant about it. I did, but it's like, why why do you defend the generals so hard? This is the same type of thing. I mean, whenever I hear people that say, oh, America's never going to have a civil war, America's never going to do this, oh, it's never going to happen. The more that you do that, the more that you say, oh, America's not going to fall into a civil war, the more I believe it. I'll be honest with you. The more it's I was thinking about this. It's like the Titanic. When people say, oh, the Titanic is never going to sink, it's unsinkable, this and that. Guess what? Ran into an iceberg. So the more that you say, oh, America's not going to turn into a civil war, the more you have to convince me, the more I believe it. It's that simple. It's the same. I mean, it's the same thing with conspiracy theories or anything else. It's just like, oh, well, that doesn't really exist. Don't look at that. When you do that, it just shows further that I must be right. But that's the kind of mind I have at this point. I don't care anymore. But yeah, that's just me. Yeah. CNN. Exactly. Dabbing on Trump is like dabbing on the Down syndrome kid. It's funny at first, but eventually you feel cruel. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It really is.
Nothing to do with it, that they have no responsibilities, that they can't change it, but you can.
Oh, how? How do we do
these
that?
Campaign contributions. It's the undue influence that Eisenhower talked about. That's the problem.
Yeah, the problem with Eisenhower is that he was part of that system too. That's the whole thing. I mean, the fact is that he was the Supreme Allied Commander in Europa. So, of course, he was part of that system too. So, of course, he knew about it. You think that he actually gave a shit? Once again, this is something that dumbass Americans will get involved with, where they're just like, oh, well, look at Eisenhower. He revealed the military-industrial complex. Guess what? He was a part of it. It's the same thing when you have General Smedley Butler writing a book about war is a racket. Guess what? He's, once again, this is always the interesting thing. When generals want to come out with these books or come out with these things, same thing with General Wesley Clark. It's like, okay, you came out with this book, or now you're starting to expose the system or whatever the case may be. But guess what? When it comes to actually reforming what your job was, being a general, you stay silent on that, don't you? Because guess what? You still want your fucking paycheck. You still want your retirement check. So don't give me this bullshit about, oh, well, the generals are so based. Well, based generals. No, they aren't based. They want you to look somewhere else and want you to go on a snipe hunt while they continue to make their money. So don't give me that bullshit where it's like, oh, well, we need to worry about them. We need to worry about, Congress and getting those people out. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, you should. But you also need to worry about the generals too. Once again, as Lenin said, we need to smash the military and police into atoms. Period. He didn't say we're gonna smash them into dust. He said into atoms, into molecular breakdown. What in the world are you talking about? People confusing the populist rhetoric Trump used in his campaign for fascism proves they're politically illiterate or dishonest. Yep, exactly. It's just, it just gets me mad as hell when I see dumb shit like this. It really does. Go ahead.
Not a standing army. That wasn't part of the equation when he wrote it down. When he talked about it, that wasn't the issue. In fact, he defended that. He said it was important to have everything ready to go. But the undue influence was the problem. That undue influence does not occur with the Joint Chiefs. It occurs with the SecDef, the President, and Congress.
This is just shifting the blame. This is really all this is. This is passing the buck. This is literally, why can't it be both? That's all I have to ask this question to Bo the Fifth Column. Why can't it be both? Why do you waste so much of your effort and so much of your breath to defend generals and defend? Why are you defending the whole system? This is the same type of thing when we hear about, and I think that Wignats do have a point when they say this, but why is it that we worry so much and we talk about Edward Snowden as if he was some fucking hero? The reality is that there is beef between the FBI and the NSA. And I think that, once again, it was a beef between the two. That's all the fuck this was. All right. So really, it's like, this is what I don't understand. Once again, it's this idea of false unity. especially in the United States government. You think that these various groups don't have beef with each other? Abso-fucking-lutely they do. Why is it that people like you are sitting here defending these folks and saying, oh, well, there's no beef between them? Bruh, of course there's fucking beef. And you just... And of course your bias shows because what? Because you work with the military. So you're not going to say, oh, well, my generals also profit from it. And even when you do, you just say one little thing about it and then you glaze right over it like you're a donut. My nigga, go ahead.
That's where the problem lies. And that's a problem the American people can fix.
One the American people can fix. How is that? How are they going to fix it? By voting?
Could vote these people out.
Yep, exactly. Voting. Nothing else. Just voting. Just voting because we don't want to get in trouble. That's basically it. We just want to vote, mister. We don't want to cause any trouble. We're going to take you out of your office, little poopy head. That's all that is. That's literal child stuff. Literal child's play. Go ahead.
If you're cheering this on right now, get rid of the offenders. The offenders aren't on the E-ring. They're on Capitol Hill.
Yep. No. I mean, absolutely not. You know, once again, the idea that, oh, well, the game doesn't change. It's just the players. The reality is that you just want to shift blame and say, well, it's these people, not the generals. The generals are blameless. You know, I mean, this is almost what he says. It's just, I could not imagine going to bat for that. You know, but of course he says that because of course he worked with generals, I imagine, and just like, well, they're good people.
Anyway, it's just a thought.
Ignoring the fact that there are plenty of dipshit generals out there. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the second one. Let's move on to this other video here. Okay, let me give some background here. Okay, so we've got none other than the Bronx blogger. I cannot think of his real name. What's going on, Will DeMarco? I know his docs is out there. I just don't care. Bronx blogger is an HIV positive leftist who lives in Brooklyn, obviously. He's Puerto Rican. And he wastes his time talking about white nationalism all day because he's a sadist. And he's also gone on people's podcasts over and over. You know, he was on the Ralph Retort countless times just to try to troll them. He looked like an absolute idiot every time. And now he decided to come back. And he said that he's going to make new content. In reality, he's doing the same shit that he's always done. Let's go ahead and continue. August 15, 2020. Holy shit. Bro, that was a while back. That's almost a month ago. National Justice Party. Who cares? Once again, who cares, bro? Don't tell me you're going to show the whole video. No, I'm not going to listen to this. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay.
Those come out of the European intellectual tradition.
Okay, so once again, so he's filming this in the hallway. He doesn't. Okay, so did he get kicked out of that little place on top of his building? Did he get kicked out of there? Was that just for the birds or something, or what, my dude? So this fool comes back. Y'all know who Bronx? Yeah, Pause Blogger. Exactly. Yep. We already know Pause Blogger. I mean, let's go ahead and get into this. We're not going to watch every minute of it because, yeah, go ahead.
So, the first disclaimer that I want to put up is that, yes, this is cringe or cringy. There is an opportunity to cope with this, the existence of...
I've said this before and I'll say it again about Bronx Blogger. Why don't you worry about the actual shit going on in New York City? You live in the Bronx. Why do you care about what goes on with Mike Pinovich, wherever the hell he is? Because I don't think he lives in New York anymore. But it's like, why do you care about what this fool does? Why do you care about mo white nationalists? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why do you care? Why don't you worry about what's going on in your own city, man? Yo, word up, son. I'm gonna have to throw on my fake New York accent right now. But yo, man, why aren't you worrying about the streets getting taken over? You know, by the cops and everything else. Yo, man, why aren't you talking about that? Yo, word up, man. Why are you talking about that, man? Puerto Rican ass motherfuckers be making, don't be making any sense, man. Word up. Get ahead, man. Get ahead.
Of this political party through the filter of irony. There is, I'm not going to.
The reality is, let me tell you this. Why do people like you and Vosh give a shit about the National Justice Party? Nobody should care about what they do. All right. Oh my gosh. So they're going to try to start a party. It's not going to go anywhere. We all know it. It's the same thing with this People's Party bullshit that's going on with Jimmy Dore and all that shit. Nothing is going to come of it. All right. I'll just tell you right now. The third party shit will do Zippo. I don't care about third parties. It's bullshit. All right. I'll tell you right now. Third parties are a waste of fucking time. Arguably, they always have been. But yeah, who gives a shit about third parties? Go ahead.
Really judge that, because the grotesque horror of when you really dig down into like white nationalist ideology, and when you sort of see where it's headed, and you think.
And the thing is, he has, once again, now I'm stuttering like he is. The thing is that this fool has also made articles as well to try to make himself look good. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like I say, with this guy, he really thinks that he's making a difference somehow. It's like, no, bruh. Go ahead.
About all of the dynamics and all of the way that they deny the Holocaust, the way that they.
Oh my goodness. You live in New York City. You live in New York City. Now, I'm not going to sit here and get into that. I'm going to say that, once again, just for the TOS, the Holocaust did happen. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, Baba Booey. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, exactly. He wants to complain about something everybody dislikes so he can pretend to be involved in politics without thinking too hard. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, the word cringe is starting to be overused. Yeah, it is. It is, yeah. Or cringy. Yeah, it felt very forced. It did. The thing is, what I'll say as well about Bronx Blogger is that you notice that he won't bring up, like I say, I mean, this dude lives in New York City, right? Yeah, the purpose of a third party shouldn't be to get votes. Exactly. The purpose of a third party is just to troll people. It's just to troll people and take votes away from others. That's all it is. I mean, the reality, though, is that there's no way that there's any candidate from the National Justice Party that's ever going to take any sort of, that is going to be on any ballot, anywhere. Yeah. Easy way to create a new culture and new state within the old one. Yeah. This guy sounds like Sam Hyde. Shit, yeah. What I was going to say, though, is this guy lives in New York City and ignores the fact that, many of the folks, I imagine, that own these buildings in New York that are the supers, the superintendents of the building, are Orthodox redacted. And of course, is he going to mention that? No. That's not an issue. He's not going to talk about that. He wastes his time because he knows his audience, basically. And he continues. I mean, literally every video is the same. It's just more white nationalism. I'm so worried about white nationalism. I'm so scared of it. You live in New York, though. You live in New York. You have more concern for, what the actual city does to you. And the NYPD, you have more to fear from the NYPD and what they do than some white nationalist in New York City. Can I tell you that? Because that's the absolute truth. You have more to worry from, the gang violence and everything else that exists in New York. Nothing's changed there. I mean, the gang violence is nowhere near what it is in Los Angeles, but still, sorry. But it's just so ignorant. Go ahead.
Dehumanize children that are interned by ICE. It's all absurd.
Oh, once again, people like, and I will say this as well about the Bronx Blogger, is he was never respected by the full-on BreadTube community. He wasn't. He was brought on by some other folks. He goes on these piddly little podcasts to try to make himself sound intelligent or to show that he has some sort of clout. He does not. He gets ratioed constantly, and they troll him all the time because he's such an easy target. Like I say, he was on the Ralph Retort numerous times to you describe that, and I think it's hilarious. I'm going to see where he goes with this White Sharpton business. So Al Sharpton is something, once again, as much as Wignets are completely ineffectual and are spurgs and autists, to compare them to Al Sharpton is pretty rich. But yeah, go ahead. I've talked enough on that.
And grotesque, like
I
it's
wish I was
all,
Jewish. Yeah, I don't like being
show.
white, being in poverty.
It's all political freak show. It's all like wallowing in the most grotesque facets of human nature. When you think about,
wait a minute. Human nature doesn't exist. At least that's what a lot of your type of folks preach, right? Human nature isn't really a thing. And, the people who wrote about human nature, they're bad and everything else, right? I mean, once again, I'm sounding like an anti-SJW here, but it's like, I thought that human nature wasn't really a thing. So why are you saying that it's your version of, go ahead. Okay.
Example, I know a lot of people have actually, in retrospect, so many years later, and it's going to sound like rambling, but have looked at the first wave of the alt-right and sort of come to the conclusion that because the figures of the alt-right were mostly online, and then they put their foot out the door in Charlottesville and they cowered back in. They put their toe in the water and they freaked out because there was an incident. Need to remember that.
Why are you giving us basic history lesson that anyone online who follows politics should already know? You know what? I'm skipping ahead here because I cannot listen to your bullshit. I really can't. Okay, go ahead.
Recognize them from the milieu. These are guys from my neighborhood. Let's do a think piece. I need to know how Mikey from the Upper East Side, he went to high school with Lauryn Hill and Zach Braff. He could be, that could be my cousin or my brother or my son. So, how do we find out what went wrong here?
What?
The diagnosis being,
I just skipped ahead because absolute bullshit.
one, and again, not to just focus on Mike Enoch, but he really is like the Travis Bickle of this movement. He is the fucking.
Wow. I think that's an insult to Travis Bickle, the character played by De Niro. Are you serious? Go ahead. We're gonna skip ahead here. I cannot stand listening to this guy for that long.
Really been wallowing in really
alt-right,
really
exactly.
pedantic Holocaust denial,
discussing human nature.
Yeah,
most online ideologies
alt-right
are
has
just
become,
a freak show.
Since they've been pressed out.
Makes
of
no
YouTube,
sense to lose sleep over these people.
When
exactly.
they were arguably
versus tragedy segments farce. Yep.
Influencing, poisoning mainstream celebrities. I mean, there was a point where Philip DeFranco was very close to alt-right. He was very close to dabbling in it because they did.
This guy's just name dropping to try to make himself sound legitimate, isn't he? I mean, once again, who cares about Philly D or Phil DeMarco or DeFranco? Sorry, Phil DeMarco, Phil DeFranco. Who cares about that fool? I don't watch him anymore. Hey guys, who gives a fuck? Okay, go ahead. Let's skip ahead. This is just clout chasing.
You may see other authoritarian, totalitarian figures and political ideologies come out of.
See, the thing is, once again, let me bring up one last point, and then I think I'm done, and then we'll read a little bit of the Green Book. But the thing is that this fool said he was going to do different type of content. where he was going to talk about socialism and this and that, or his version of it. But of course, the thing is that he's just so retarded, he can't do that. He has to name drop folks. He has to waste his time talking about my white nationalists. He has to waste his time. I'm sure that he still goes in the Ralph retorter, still wants to, because he's such a loser. I mean, yeah, I'm a loser, but at least I recognize it, and I'm okay with that. But it's like, okay, I can't. I really can't.
Other societies that are in decay, monarchism, when it's in decay, usually will produce conservatism or liberalism, for example, but not Nazism. Nazism is the vengeful son of capitalism. Nazism is specifically a kind of a consumer gone mad, gone rabid, this kind of infection of it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. The country, it's about objects. It's about, it's not about like this ethereal stuff. They sell all this ethereal stuff about like supernatural phenomena.
A lot of groups do. I guess you've never heard of Posadism, bro. Have you heard the good word of Posadism? Go ahead.
Spiritual connection between people. This is like, I've touched this before, like the Julius Evola, esoteric fascism. That's all bullshit. This is about money, property, and privilege. This is
oh boy. Yeah. What do you bet he would talk about social democracy when he talked about socialism? Oh, absolutely.
About being able to walk down the street by law and know that your white skin by default gives you power over every person that does not look like you, every person that does not fuck like you, every person that does not, even down to like the very deep minutia. It is a kind of hyper narcissism.
Y'all give, once again, you're giving Nazis way too much credit. Why are you giving these types of fools so much credit where it's just like, oh, you're making them sound good? It's like, I know that, once again, it's like, you're making it sound too based, bro. You're making people want to join. Golly, I just don't. Yeah. I'm unsure what to think of Julius Evola. He's a weird fellow. I don't care about Julius Evola. I will never read Julius Evola. I will tell you that, yeah. It's a very odd description of Nazism. It really is. But yeah, go ahead. Golly, I can't. Go ahead.
Everyone to read what I read. I need everyone to watch what I watch. I want everyone to have my same morals, and I want to participate in a society where who I hate is who the culture hates, and who.
I think you're just projecting. I think this is what you actually want. But go ahead.
And who the government will punish. So what's my verdict after all this on National Justice Party? National Justice Party is multiple things. National Justice Party is an attempt by the remainders of the alt-right wave to resecure funding and resecure entree to recruitership. This distinction that I will make in terms of grifting between the alt-right and the alt-right is that the alt-right is vacuous.
Imagine still saying that the alt-right and alt-right still exist. Imagine it is 2020 and people are still talking about the alt-right and alt-right as if it's one thing. Imagine that people cannot get out of their little bubble when they were mildly interesting. And I mean mildly interesting back in 2016 or something like that. It's very sad. Very sad, yeah. Cool until he was paralyzed, yeah. But he's an elitist 1000%, so he wouldn't be over there, yeah. I think you're just projecting, yeah. Not gonna lie, you do sort of sound like anti-SJW, but then again, this guy is clearly an SJW, so I can't blame you. Fair enough. Like I say, this is just
more culturally related to neoliberalism, which is no coincidence. I mean, the alt-right, for all intents and purposes, is a form of conservatism, which is highly related to neoliberalism and Ronald Reagan and all that stuff. The alt-right is pure grifting. It is nihilistic, cynical grasping. It is attention for its own
please.
sake.
Let me tell you something. You are one to talk. you are one to talk, sir, where nobody will be willing to talk to you outside of fringe folks who really don't know you. You know, outside of fringe people who don't know who the hell you are. Most of the rest just don't want to talk to you because they see you as a loser. So what are you talking about? This is the first and the last time I'm going to do a Bronx Blogger video because he is not worth anyone's time. You know, I just wanted to show this video because this guy is still putting out content like it's 2016. You know, and vaguely putting a broad brush to say, oh, well, it's still 2020. I'm still going to talk about this, but he cannot move out of the past. Because he was just so... Yeah, go ahead. I can't even finish that.
Purely patronage. They just want your tokens. They just want more dollars. The extra layer that makes the alt-right dangerous and different in a way that I think is relevant is the fact that they want entree for money, sure, but they also want legitimately to spread an ideology.
Oh my goodness. You mean you aren't? And it's just, to me, this is ridiculous because, I mean, I will say it in another aspect here. I'll try to make an original point. But he's so angry that people are making money. It's like, my dude, if I was a gun runner, that would be the way I make money. You know, if I would push for a lobby to say, yeah, we need gun runners to, you know, give arms to this company and it will be a multi-million-dollar deal or $1 billion deal, well, then hell yeah, I'll be like, yeah. You think that you as a security guy, once again, go ahead. It's just absolutely ridiculous to me to be like, oh, well, you know, we should be mad at these grifters and they're, you know.
They
so
want
what?
to get access to recruitment. Yeah. They want to get access to numbers that are not
put emphasis on everything. I see a lot.
Paypigs. Yeah. They want people. They want soldiers. They want killers. That's my summation on national justice. I'm working on some stuff about Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm still processing all that stuff and trying to make sense out of it. But it is related to this, and I will come back with another video soon.
Yeah, I can't wait until you talk about Michael Reinhold too. But yeah, go ahead.
This is me coming effectively out of retirement for a little while, God knows how long, because, you know, the adversary that I thought had been, you know, when they got pushed out of YouTube, I thought that they had lost reach a great deal, and they had lost so much payment processing and stuff. Them popping back up like this.
Oh, please. Are you trying to sound like you're the Crusades? You're not a crusader, okay? This is not Deus Vult, you know, where you think that, oh, well, the alt-right, because they got kicked off YouTube. You think that YouTube, I mean, look, YouTube is one place. You know, the thing is that, I mean, I'm not going to waste my time on places like Gab, this and that, but it's so pitiful and shows you how online poison that you are, where you're just like, well, they're off YouTube, so yay. This is just that you don't have to look at them on YouTube. That's it. They'll go where they have to go, man. Once again, it's just, the thing is, once again, though, is if you want to talk about the alt-right, come up with better fucking ideas. Period. Come up with better fucking ideas. That's how you fight the alt-right. Come up with better ideas. Be better at marketing yourself. Period. That's all you have to do. But what do people like Vosh do? They talk about the same, you know, they bring up, of course, you know, toxic masculinity. They mention all this same stuff that they all talk about. If you gave a little bit, just a hair bit of lip service to some reactionary type of ideas, then maybe you would be more successful. But this isn't the case. This is not the case. Instead, they talk about the same old shit, and they wonder why the alt-right, you know, continues to come back. It's because you guys are so cringe. That's why. Because you guys are so cringe. You constantly fight amongst each other. And it's no... It's just... Go ahead.
Has...
they're all feds anyway. They are.
And if this fucking video gets 10 views. I don't care. I've done this before. I've been the obscure guy, and started from scratch and all that stuff. But somebody has to talk about it. And then when somebody
You're still obscure, though. That's the whole thing. Bronx Walker, you are still obscure. And what do? You're so petty that you are on my level of trolling. And believe me, my level of trolling is pretty bottom feeder level. But you go on, like, I don't know, like say, the public square and talk about, and you troll them in their chat or something. That's the type of petty motherfucker you are. You just type stuff out there, hoping that, and then eventually you'll leave. So how is it, once again, oh, well, I thought they would have been, that they wouldn't have had a platform because they were kicked off, there. And once again, he pats himself on the back like he was just some fucking crusader. No, you weren't a crusader. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm curious if neo-reactionary fascist Nazis will manage to ally with one another or physically manifest themselves. Who knows? Who knows? That's a good question. Yeah. Not as base as Nazbol gang. Yeah. From a Nazbol, I won't work with NRX types at all. They're the biggest LARPers today. Yeah, exactly. NRX guys. People like NRX are just opportunists. I think that there is some value in reading it, maybe. Yes. Okay. Come on. Bring him in. Okay. Sorry. Just had to mute that just for a moment. Oh, you didn't miss that much, but yeah. Foster does make more money than me. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I could sit there and cope about it, but I don't really care, The thing is, I'm just going to, as long as I take away some of his audience, I don't really care, But yeah, I mean, that's someone that is cope, but so what? Yeah. Does NRX mean neo-reactionaries or something? Yeah. It's basically Moldbug. Basically, NRX is like Moldbug and stuff like that, where, basically, well, we believe that there's a problem with identity politics, but we don't want to get into racial stuff. That's basically it. We are basically talking about how the moderate left fails to deal properly with the alt-right. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Okay. We're gonna finish this up. This is
bigger than me starts talking about it. I can then again, once people start taking action and deplatforming these guys and all that stuff, then I can quietly go back to what I want to do, which is to not be caught up in this fucking this relationship with the alt-right online. I can then peacefully go back and
see. The thing is, you see such cope from these types of folks. This is the same type of thing with Faraday Speaks, aka Caleb Kane, where they continue to try to say that they're fighting against fascism, this and that, but you can tell that they are losing, and that that they're tired of talking to people. They're tired of talking to the. Yeah, I'm sounding like him now. Sorry, but it's like they don't want to talk to the cringy folks that they get on Discord. I mean, it's hilarious when they're like, "Oh, we'll go on our Discord, bro." Oh yeah, I want to spurg out and talk to the same 5 folks and have them yell at me and say N-word to me and whatnot. Yeah, that's really what I want to do on Discord. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem right there. Where it's like people say, "Oh, Twitter is a hell site," or "YouTube is a hell site," or "Discord is a hell site." Why not just say the internet is hell? Why not just do that? And I'm just saying that as an off point, but it's so ridiculous to me. Where people want their most safe spaces on the internet, and they say, "Oh, Twitter is a hell site," or this and that. Look, why don't you just say they all suck, and go outside? That's what I plan to do a little bit here just after I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and mow the lawn, get that done, and maybe I'll go out for a bit of a walk because I had some McDonald's breakfast, and as y'all know, oof. But you know what? Anyway, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, let's solve the awful fusion government, technology, and corporations by giving rise to a technical ANCAP aristocracy. Yeah. I don't like Moldbug as much as the people he inspired. Yeah, that's fair. Has anyone seen the Matthew Heimbach interview with Billy? I don't think I have, no. Listen to Yarvin interviews. Yeah, that really is. Including Curtis Yarvin, of course, supporting Joe Biden for president. Yeah, and that's hilarious to me, you know. Sargon is also getting a bit friendly with Settlers Lament, the Distributist, and other similar people, which is interesting. Well, yeah, he wants to, he just wants to keep his audience happy. That's basically it. But yeah, go ahead.
To my little hovel. I appreciate people that watch this content. I make this stuff hopefully so that you don't feel alone in your concerns about the alt-right. I've made some criticisms about LeftTube's culture and stuff online. I'm not sure about making content about that here because this channel has always had a specific moral mission to confront Nazism in these spaces on social media.
The thing is that you have probably converted more people to Nazism than any Wignat today. I will tell you that right now. Bravo, Bronx. Bravo. Because the thing is, once again, not only from this channel, but from the fact that you continue to waste your time bottom feeding and going on, I mean, I imagine that you're banned from going on Ethan Ralph's show, but I imagine it would be hilarious to bring you on again for like the nth time. Yeah, you know what? I have wasted my time with that. Don't worry, I'm not going to make y'all watch these. This is stuff I will watch later on by myself. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and turn that off. But, yeah, Yarvin is interesting to listen to, but I wouldn't take his advice on politics. Yeah, 1960 war is hell. 2020, the internet is hell. Yeah, exactly. It's on Matt's BitChute. Oh, really? Heimbach still has a BitChute. It's just his name if you want to watch it. Okay, well, let's take a look here. I'll go ahead and humor you. Matthew Heimbach. Yeah, let me see if it just comes up like that. My Google has really been fucking up recently. I don't know what happened with that. Let me see here. Let me see here. Okay, still going. Okay. Matthew Heimbach, BitChute. I know it's going to take forever. I know it is. Okay. Let me see here. Is this just a response video? Let me see here. Hold on. Go ahead and keep it going again. All right. Back up. Come on. Let's go. Come on. All right. Oh. Yep. Okay. This is the video from. Yeah. Okay. I know what this is now. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and type this in here. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. I think I've shown it though. Yeah. Who was that guy? That was. Oh, okay. Have you ever heard of this? Oh, alt-right Tanky. He was banned off YouTube twice, and now he's on BitChute. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's easier to turn to class collaborations into a socialist than someone that literally wants a king. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah. Who was that guy? That was Matthew Heimbach. And I think that oh wait a minute, the guy in the photo was I can't think of Parrott. I think Matthew Parrott. And I know that's not gonna lie, Fosh's cringe is growing on me the same way Biden's dementia. Yeah, exactly. Did he retract all his own posts? I don't know. Did he? Let me go ahead and see here. But I already did a response to that. This is a video from I can't think of it now. But yeah. Okay, I think we've kind of reached the end, haven't we? So we'll do a little bit of reading, and I think we'll call it good. We'll just read a little bit here. Because I did promise it. So we're going to read a little bit of the Green Book. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and cut here. So the Green Book A vision for democracy and socialism. Of course, Gaddafi has been subject to extreme ridicule and demonization by the voices that represent the Western imperialists and capitalists that he drove out of Libya. They portrayed him. Yeah, he is Union Army Ball. They portrayed him much like they portray Kim Jong-un or Fidel Castro, as if he is some ignorant buffoon with tyrannical powers. However, Gaddafi's life illustrates that he was a brilliant politician and statesman. Oh, okay. The fuck happened to your voice? Actually, oh, sorry. I probably walked away from the mic, and that's probably screwing it up. Okay. Let's see what we got here. They portrayed him much like they portray Kim Jong-un or Fidel Castro, as if he is some ignorant buffoon with tyrannical powers. However, Gaddafi's life illustrates that he was a brilliant politician and statesman. In the early years of the revolution, the country's new strongman was quite frustrated by the lack of progress. In both 1971 and 1973, he attempted to step down because he was tired of dealing with corruption and slow-moving bureaucracy. Both times he was brought back to office by popular demand.
I'm only trying to grab him.
Okay. Okay. All right, folks. Let's go ahead and continue on here. All right. On April 16th, 1973, Gaddafi launched the Popular Revolution. The aim was to transform Libya into a fully socialist state. A few months later, in June of 1973, he published the Green Book. The book explains the unique form of socialism applied in Libya. Gaddafi was not a Marxist, though he clearly drew from Marxist Leninism and had studied it extensively. Gaddafi was not a Ba'athist Arab socialist either, though he was greatly inspired by these movements in the region. Proof of Gaddafi's brilliance can be found in his writings, exposing the fraudulent nature of democracy in many countries. He wrote, under such systems, I'm vindicating. That is hilarious. That is hilarious, Uncle Hum. That is hilarious. Oh, boy. All right. Okay. Part of Gaddafi's influence can be found in his writings, exposing the fraudulent democracies in the world. Alternatively, the people are seduced into standing in long, apathetic, silent queues to cast their ballots in the same way that they throw waste paper into dustbins. This is the traditional democracy prevalent in the whole world, whether it is represented by a one-party, two-party, multi-party, or non-party system. Caleb Maupin, yeah. This is Caleb Maupin's introduction to the book. Yep. For Gaddafi, democracy was about bringing ordinary people into the political process. He writes, popular conferences are the only means to achieve popular democracy. Any system of government contrary to this method, and believe that they should have aligned against the West. Oh, really? Yeah, big booby bodyguard soldier haram. Yeah. All right. Gaddafi's third universal theory. You know what? Okay. We're going to continue on here. Lies to justify war. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and cut to this. I think we'll end it here. This is the end of Caleb Maupin's introduction. In 2011, amidst the Arab Spring protests, a barrage of videos and reports swept U.S. mainstream media, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Gaddafi was said to be a brutal dictator, and his people were supposedly in revolt against him. The former first prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Luis Moreno Ocampo, proclaimed, "We have information that there was a policy to rape in Libya those who were against the government. Apparently he, Gaddafi, used it to punish people." Hillary Clinton declared rape, physical intimidation, sexual harassment, and even so-called virginity tests have taken place in countries throughout the region. The allegations got uglier each day. And after the dust settled, NATO bombs had destroyed the prosperous Afghan country. After which the claims were largely debunked. While many outlets reported that Gaddafi was using Viagra to his soldiers and ordering them to rape women, Donatella Rivera, a senior crisis advisor for Amnesty International, reported that these claims could not be confirmed. She reported that after her organization had investigated, we have not found any evidence of a single victim of rape or a doctor who knew about somebody being raped. Many of the crowds described in international media as peaceful protesters had in fact been armed and fired on civilian or Libyan soldiers. Amnesty International backed a report from the International Crisis Group, writing, much Western media coverage has... Okay. All right, folks. I'm sorry. I'm kind of winding down here. I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I was going to say, be careful of what you eat. Oof. Okay. But we will actually get into the book later on. I think I've kind of said my piece. We've gone on for about an hour and 11 minutes here. I'm kind of feeling a little bit sleepy. I may take another nap because I can. But yeah, I think with that, I think I'll go ahead and end right there. I will, of course, thank Will DeMarco, Union Army Ball, Captain Fullsap, GSP, Uncle Ho, Red Dundonian, Temujin, Cornholio Fan 1995, Gitler Goldpot, The Songun Policy, and we will thank APR. I know that he was waiting. He's like, bruh, I came in here just so I could listen to, he came in here just so he could listen to me talk about the Green Book. And he's like, bruh, you're playing these videos. It's like, okay. So that's kind of foul of me. But next time though, I will dedicate, I think, the whole stream. I think I'll try to do it later today after my nap and after I get the lawn mowed. Then I will fully read through the Green Book. I will say what I promise, and I think we'll keep it there. So with that, I say, yep, good morrow, sir. Exactly, good morrow, Uncle Ho. So I think we will end it there. Y'all have a good rest of the day, and see you later. Let's see here. I need to get some more outros. That's what I need to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this long outro. I'm just going to play